Campus Gainer again. Looking a little bit dark in here tonight, but not too bad, I don't think. Right, I've had a little request of somebody. Will I show the layering alphabet dies? And of course I'll show you then. I was playing with them last night, coming up with a little bit of an example. I only use scrap pieces of paper on my card. I did show this in a video this morning when I was doing the cards. So yeah, and my letter Y is definitely not lined up properly. But what a cute little card. But you have to use a fair bit of paper, believe it or not, to make this card. I've used the hats. Let me show you the papers. Absolutely stunning. So there's the stamp set. It's called Lined Alphabet. Photopolymer, and it's just got every letter of the alphabet, and these are fantastic. They reckon it's easier to cut your image out first and then stamp over because they're photopolymer. And they line up with these, and these they look a bit weird, but please, when you get them, write what letter it is, because I was doing Q instead of P and then U instead of N and vice versa. So I've got all mine on a magnetic sheet, and these are A, B, C right through. These are the little double dots, the comma, they're the like little question marks you have, but you know, if you were like hyphens, I don't know what they're called. So these are all our letters. So this did have a Q on it, but it's actually a P, and this had a P on it and it's now a Q. So you have to be which way round they go as well. So they're just stunning. This is your main frame. You're going to want these dots as to line up, these slashes, so to say, line up with your 4 1/8 or 4 1/4, and then this one is like you 5 7/8 or 5 3/4, one of those. But it's just so you can line everything up. You've got a straight edge, you've got a curved edge. I'll show you that in a moment. So we're going to need the frame out. I'm going to do the same again. So I'm choosing the words happy, H. Whoops. So where are we now? H, A, P, P, and Y. We're going to replicate this card. Beautiful. I'm not going to stamp them, but I will do an extra. I'll cut an extra one out and show you how you can stamp over it. This birthday is from Perennial Birthday, and it's that big huge one there. It says happy birthday. What I did, I just put it on my block, bent it over, stamped, and away to go. I was going to show you the papers, weren't I? These are those gorgeous Broadway designer series paper. I missed off a colour. And it coordinates with basic black, lemon lime twist, whisper white, gold foil, lovely lipstick, and grey granite. Is it grey granite? Yes, grey granite. So these are the papers I'm using. I used the hats on the other card, which is so cute. But I'm choosing to use, the balloons. But I am going to be using every bit of colour. So you can see black, you can see white, you can see the grey granite, you can see the lipstick, and you can see the lemon lime twist. So I'm going to be using those colours to do my happy with. So, ta-da! It's just so cute. And this is the new lovely lipstick. Gorse Grain Ribbon, 1/8 of an inch. Fabulous. So, I've got my pieces. We have the Whisper White for the base. I've got my designer series paper. Even that on its own, with the words happy birthday written across there and a few embellishments, which looks just so cute. And it's got stripes on the back. Gold foil stripes. So this is the piece I had to cut off because I only needed a certain width. So I might pop that in the inside. Look, across there or down this side or something. Or even like so far down. And it's a little bit long, so we can always trim off. So these are our pieces for our card. There's my lovely lipstick. Lemon lime twist. Grey granite. white and black. So now I've got my letters. I'm going to pop these to one side. I'm going to get one of the letters out. I'm going to use the letter A, I think, and cut an extra one of those out. But it's so much easier to stamp after you've cut them out than it is trying to get them. Then you'd have to mark your paper in the perfect position and then stamp and then try and cut it out. So it's much easier to do it this way. So stamps to one side, my equipment to one side, and you can buy this as a bundle. It is a very expensive bundle and save 10%. I managed to get it as a half price item, which was even the best deal ever, because my gorgeous husband allowed me to have a wee spend on the credit card. So I know, please don't look at, and the flatter your plates are with this set, the better. Gosh. So I'm going to flip this one. I always keep this here. It's only for me. This is pretty flat. I'm going to, yeah, that's pretty flat to me. So you're going to take your card. Oh gosh, now I'm just trying to work out which way I'm going to start this. I'm going to start with the black. This lines up perfect. Please don't forget to put it cut side down. See how it lines up? And it fits just on your cutting plate perfectly. And these grooves are for this. Ours is UK, so this is 4 1/8. And if you were an American, you'd have 4 1/4. So your groove, one of your grooves, just line up perfectly. You can just line it up with one, or you can then line it up with the 2. But if you want the same distance either side, I suggest you line this up according to your paper and have these pieces. That way you're going to get that perfect symmetrical line up. So then you're going to pop your plate on, making sure you don't overhang on your plate, otherwise you'll damage that said piece. The Stampin' Up! Recommend that you use your magnetic plate. Just helps to get, oh, it would help if I put my letter in. So I'm going to have the letter Y at the end. See how it slots in? It fits perfectly into that groove. You can't go wrong. Then you're going to pop your card down. I'm just going to move this. I have fetched in the big shot. Please don't shout at me, but I'm going to try my best now and lift it up. I have taken the plates off. It is a lot lighter. And I've got it right next to me on my desk. Oh my lord. So, pop this in, and now we're just going to crank this through. I'm going to take my plates off. I'm just going to bob this to one side again, just so I can show you. I've got my set of drawers wide open, and my big shot is balancing on my drawer, so it's nice and high. Now you're going to lift it up, and there is your letter. I suggest, if you want them straight, because you've got a good distance between letters. See, now I didn't have that paper big enough, so you can see that underneath. This layers over that perfect, that one over that, that one over that. The only thing is you're going to have to trim this with a craft knife or by hand with scissors. So I suggest turning it face down, measure the actual piece you want, and then use scissors to cut it off. But making sure you've got enough. So I would say I would leave 2 inches, and then we're going to get a piece of card for layering. But isn't that gorgeous? So let me just move that for a second. I don't know if I can judge this with my Tim Holtz, I want about 2 inches over. So I get my little ruler, or even about 1.5 inches, and I don't know if you can see with this arm in the way. I'm just going to measure, whoops, and that to me is, it's just over, it's like 1.5 inches, yeah, perfect. So that's my piece. If I make, that doesn't look very straight. It is straight though. If I make sure everyone is cut that size, when they're layering up, let me just check. So that, I'm going to lie that on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a bit. 1, it wasn't straight, was it? No. Look, that's my line. And it's out at the bottom. Oh. So, I'm going to just pop that there for a minute. Fetching my trimmer. I'm going to do this properly. I want a straight line. So, if I put that in. So this line is 2 inches. This is going to give me 2 inches. You can see where it's out just a fraction. Now I've got my perfect straight line. Don't worry about the fraying. It always does it on the black. You're going to be covering it over with your next piece of cards. So we're going to be doing that. And then you can always use the negative as well. I don't know how you would, but we can gather those pieces together and we can have a look as we go along. So, back with our plate. Look at the tattiness on this. I'm just going to grab my scissors actually. Nice and fine now. There they are. Whoops. It's just a piece of photocopying paper with a dryer sheet inside, and I just use it. It gives me that extra little shim on my card. So that, and it's not even touching anything. It's just there to give me that little shim. So again, I'm going to lay this down. We're going to take our letter Y out. Grab our next piece of paper and you're going to make sure the cutting blade is cut down. Take this to the end. I've cut all these pieces 4 1/8 by 5 5/8 because that is the width of my cardstock for the front. So I'm going to take the letter P, click this into place. It just fits perfect. Put on our top plate. And I'm going to do the rest of the pieces now while I'm here. So I'm going to leave the big shot up here because it's quite heavy. That looks pretty lined up to me. It's not straight across the edge. That's better. That's better indeed. There we go. But I'm going to need 2 of those letter P's. So I'm going to lift this up. There's my letter P. Isn't that adorable? We'll do the trimming at the end. There's the negative, and we're going to keep the little dot to go with. I'm going to get my next piece, which I'm going to do in the grey granite, which is absolutely a gorgeous colour. Whoops, that's way over. But isn't that simple to follow, keeping your groove lines perfectly straight. This back edge perfectly straight, just running my finger to make sure. And then I'm going to pull my paper. I should stand up really, but I can't do it that for long. That looks pretty cool to me. So again, run it through the big shot. Oops, where's my letter? Oh, there it is, it's inside. A little pokey tool. So there's my negative and there's my positive. Aren't they just the cutest things? You can see now that they fit perfectly for the lining up as well. Keeping my edges together. So this is why it's good to line up. So there's my letter P. And look at that, 2 inches is just perfect. Just perfect. I'm sorry I was holding it up wrong, but that's just right. Isn't that lovely? Alright, so let's carry on. I'm keeping the negatives as well. I'm going to remove the letter P. And we're going to come in with the H. Click them into place. Why am I fetching H? I need A. I'm doing my lettering backwards. So let's try and line this up again. We need it at the top and at the sides. Perfect alignment, top and bottom. And click that into place. Whoops. Perfect. Looks okay to me. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? So keeping the negatives, you need these little bits to fill in your space. I'm using Whisper White on this one for the letter H. Look at that, just perfectly lined up. Ensure they in place. And this is our last letter now. Ooh, let's that clang is because it's a straight line apparently. Remove our letter. Oh, I tell you what I'm going to do. There's our H. There's our negative. I'm just going to grab some scrap. I'm going to cut an extra letter out and show you. For the stamping. So, oh, let me get a pale piece. I think this is, look, this will line up even for our large pieces of paper. You know, so if you're doing it like landscape, no, portrait, so you can line them up. I think this might just be a little bit wide, that's all. So we're going to pop our letter back in. And I've got the letter A out, so I can just go back for the letter H. So it works both ways, landscape and portrait. So that's the piece I'm going to die cut out. Remove my plates, because it makes this a lot lighter, and we're going to pop this out the way. Fabulous. Oh, that was a job and a half. Right, let me get the letter H out of my lined alphabet. Oops. And I'll show you. I'll put the letter A away. Oh, it's on the same one, so. But this is quite an expensive set. So if you can manage to get a half price item, then I suggest you get this. But if not, go and buy it together and save 10%. Oh, it's photopolymer, it doesn't matter. Right, this is, I'm just going to use my basic black, because it's easier to wash off. So I'm going to hover this over. I'm just fetching it a bit closer to me for a second. See, it's easier to stamp after. And you can really get your head into over the top of it, then you would really, really line that up. But that is fantastic. Isn't that brilliant? Love it. So, rainbow cards. Oh, they're going to be plenty. Plenty, plenty, plenty. So that's just how you can cut your letter out and stamp over with a photopolymer. Line it up even perfect. And then stamp away. Yay. So that's my spare. I'll pop that back in a moment. I'll see if I can do something in a minute with my negatives. But I don't know if I could. I don't know how that would work, see? Oh, I'm not going to fart around with that. I will gently throw those in the bin. So these are our card pieces now. Like I'm saying, we have the letter Y. I'm going to pop this right here. It's lined up here with the 10.5, and it's right against that line there. And we're going to work our way down this way, keeping them perfectly straight. And then we could cut and then trim. We can cut, oops, that needs to go a bit further. That looks a bit lopsided now, doesn't it? Let's go along this line here. I think it's best if you glue them into place and then trim them off. That needs to be a little bit higher, I think. Yet they were perfectly lined up, all the same size card. I've got that lined up, haven't I? That's right. H-A. That is something wrong there. Is it me? It's probably just the way I'm looking down on it. H-A. See that fit? That lines up beautifully now. PP. H-A-P-P-Y. Isn't that lovely? Absolutely lovely. Just going to line all that up. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop, glue them together, and then come back. See you in a sec. Otherwise, my video's going to run out. Hi, I'm back. And there you go. I've managed to tape them all together. And I used a little bit of tear and tape. And apart from that little tiny bit of a hangover there, it worked beautifully. I went along and I lined the letter up on the trimmer. Let me show you. If you line your letter on your trimmer at 2 inches here at the start, then slice, it gives you every letter that perfect proportion at the back, so you're not overhanging. This one I've trimmed down because I want the whole length of my sentiment to be 4.5 inches, which is 4.5 inches, more or less. Now it's just a matter of trimming these sides down. You can leave them that wide if you want, and I don't think your trimmer is going to go through all those pieces of card. So you've got to choose your back piece now. So this, I have got this at, say 2.5, say 2 3/4. I'm going to do this. I'm going to choose a piece of any colour cardstock, maybe something nice and bright and cheerful. Maybe some Daffodil Delight. How's that? To add that extra colour in. So this is just short. So we're going to cut this down to 2 3/4. And pop that out the back. Because these, oh, look at my trimmer. Oh my gosh, the blade is, that runner's stinking. There's another job for me to do. So I'm going to get rid of that. And I want this to be 4.5 inches. I want that the wide to be on a background. So I'm going to go 4 3/4. Just to be on the safe side. We can always trim down, but we can never put it back on. There, and I'm going to make sure, I'm going to get this out the way. Just going to measure the width of the letter, and it is 1 1/4. So this is 2 3/4. I'm just going to grab, so 2 3/4 is 1 and 3. So there's the centre of my card. Then I've got to get 1 1/4, which is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4. So it's 5/8 of an inch. So there. That's why I need to line my letter up. So it's got to go in there. But I need to straighten it up. So I'm going to come along this edge here, that one. I'm making sure this is straight along this edge. Perfection. So now I'm going to grab some glue. I know it's a bit of a fuss, but it's worth it in the end. Gosh. And I can rub that out in a moment. I don't really want, oh, don't glue all the way down, just do this section. So again, that's lined up. I'm going to push that to there. And line it up with this side. Perfect. And I have to work quickly because, oh yeah, my glue. So now I need to trim these sections off. Let me first grab my pencil. Oh, look at the state of that. It's flipping ruined. Oh, look at that. It's ruined. That rubber's ruined. That dirty pen. Look, it's dirty. And it's ruined my piece of card. I know it'll get it off. My helix. Love this rubber. Better. So I can trim, I can trim this little back bit, this piece. I'm going to use my large scissors for this. I've seen a few videos now with this, but they show you how to cut the letters out. They show you how you can layer them up and how you can do them in portrait and landscape, but I've not seen anybody actually make the card. They show you the cards after, but they don't sit and make it with you. There's my little rainbow bits. Aren't they just the cutest? Let's get rid of these tools. I've got a little bit of glue on my desk now. That's it. It's only because I don't... Now, oh my gosh, isn't that just so cute? But now it looks a bit lopsided. I've got that straight as pass. Just going to pop it into the corner. That's just out a little touch of alignment that way. So I'm just going to give it the tiniest little haircut. That looks better. That looks way better to me. Perfect. That's going to do me fine at the moment. So on with my designer series paper. I'm going to use glue. I'm going to pop this on dimensionals. Oh, shavings. Do you know what I'm doing? I'm gluing it and I haven't even added my ribbon yet. So I'm going to grab a length of this gorgeous ribbon. Just stunning. And I'm just going to cut enough length to glue on my card. Grab some fast fuse and let's see if this will work now. Which way round is it? Perfect. Fingers crossed that did. So I'm just adding a dot of ribbon so I can add it to the front of my card. Little bit more colour. Oh, there you go, flicking off. And grab some more fast fuse. Let's have a look. That needs to be a little bit tighter. I want that little bit of a pull, so when I do glue this down, I know it's going to lay flat against my card. You can see that's starting to dry quickly, so I'm going to get making sure I juice up around the ribbon. Lay this on my card, and if this is not my best card, it's because it's the first, well, only the second time I've used it, and trying to do it on camera and without standing up or gosh, this is gonna, my ribbon is not staying in place. That is better, so I'm going to hold that now. That's better. Oh my gosh, my ribbon quickly. That's perfect, absolutely perfect. My fingers are now covered in ink. So I'm going to cut another little thread. Not too much, I'm just going to do a little knot like I did the last one. I'm feeling a little bit skimpy with this. It's just absolutely gorgeous and I want it to last for ages. So I'm trying to get it on its side. So when I tie it, I want to tie it across the line. So I'm turning it so it does it that way. Oh, lovely. Look at that. I'm going to pull this pretty tight. And then just, oh, that is so pretty. Oh my gosh, love it. I'm going to be back 2 seconds. I'm just going to wash my fingers before I get glue everywhere. That's better. My hands are absolutely, good thing I'm still wet. My hands are absolutely covered in glue. So I've just used the nail brush. I think it's showing. This is a bit more towards the top than I would have liked. But not bad for a first on film recording this gorgeous stamp set. I'm going to have a little bit more practice, I think, before I come back and do another one. So, pokey tool. But not bad for my first, like I'm saying, on camera view. I would like to have done it a little bit better. But, like I'm saying, you either love it or you don't. So, I'm going to pop this as central as possible. My H is a little bit high up. Who cares? It's my first one. And that's what I'm sticking to. So I've got a spare piece of Whisper White here. I'm just going to trim it down to 1 inch. But I'm going to do it on that side. I always find that side easier to cut. Perfect, and then we're going to stamp the happy birthday in this gorgeous red colour, the lovely lipstick. I'm just going to leave that open. I've got my birthday on, I've mounted it on. It would help if it was straight. And now I'm just going to stamp, making sure I've got that B. I've got a little boo-boo around the edge. Oh, please don't. Perfect. Oh my gosh, how amazing is that? Just going to grab my cloth and clean, otherwise I will probably end up sticking my elbow in it or something. Perfect. And now I'm going to trim off. I'm going to do my little banner. Perfect. And I'm going to do another one this side. I'll do a pretty tall one. There we go. Into my little tin. And grab my dimensionals. Gosh, I've gone through a whole packet of those this week. Everything's been on dimensionals. So this now is going to go, I might just pop it here to hide that H being poked up in the sky. Alright, just come on over the edge a bit. So we've got our words, happy birthday. Please forgive me for trying. I score a 5 for trying. So I'm going to pop one here, one here, and I'm going to fetch your eye down there. So that's not bad for my first attempt. Like I'm saying, on camera, I will master the skill of getting it perfectly straight. I'm going to add that. I'm going to use a bit of my snail. And I'm just going to add a little bit. If the camera goes off, I do apologise. But yay, if you've not subscribed already, please do. I tend to post every single day of the week, so you won't ever get bored and have nothing to do, wait weeks on end for me to come back, because I'm here every single day. So, and don't forget the little bell straight after. That way you'll be notified as well. Isn't that amazing? So there you go. This is my attempt of my birthday card. This is the one I made yesterday. Oh, please forget. Unless you're on the wonk, we'll look at our card like that and it'll be perfectly straight. This one wasn't perfect either. The Y was down here. But I will master the skill of getting it straight for you. Right, until next time, I love you all so much. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.